There is a version of you that was built to survive. And it did its job perfectly. It learned when to go quiet, when to shrink, when to smile through something that was slowly destroying you from the inside. It built walls so fast, so silently, that by the time you noticed them, they were no longer walls. They were you. And here is what nobody will ever say to your face. The thing that protected you is now the thing that is imprisoning you. Not your past, not the people who hurt you. The armor you built to survive them. Today we are going to look at 5 specific ways that armor is showing up in your life. Right now, invisible, automatic, and costing you more than you know. If even 2 of these hit something in you, do not look away. You say sorry before anyone has accused you of anything. Someone walks into you, and the word leaves your mouth before your brain even processes. What happened? You ask for something completely reasonable, and you wrap it in, "I'm so sorry to bother you." You speak in a room full of people, and the moment you finish, you immediately wonder if you talked too much. This is not politeness. This is not your personality. This is what happens to a nervous system that was once taught, slowly, quietly, repeatedly, that your presence was a problem. Psychologists call it the fawn response. The 4th survival mode that nobody talks about: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Fawn is where you make yourself smaller before anyone else can tell you to. Where agreeableness becomes a shield. Where saying sorry becomes a reflex you cannot turn off. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." But how do you live in the present when you still apologizing for a past that is already gone? That reflexive sorry is not a quirk. It is a wound that learned to speak. Something good happens. A quiet day. A relationship that feels stable. A moment where nothing is wrong. And instead of resting inside it, you start waiting for it to end. The good morning becomes, "What is about to go wrong?" The kind gesture becomes, "What do they want from me?" The peaceful week becomes a low, unexplainable anxiety that hums beneath everything. Like a frequency you cannot locate. This is hypervigilance, and it is not weakness. It is what happens to a mind. 'Tis to a mind that once lived inside unpredictability so long that it stopped trusting stillness. When the ground shifted, without warning often enough, your nervous system stopped believing that solid ground was real. It began treating calm the same way it treated danger, as a sign that something is coming. The cruelest part, you may be sabotaging the very things you have worked hardest to build. Not because you do not want them, but because some deep, ancient part of you is more comfortable in the storm than in the silence. It knows how to survive pain. Joy feels like a trap. There is a specific kind of exhaustion that has no name in most languages. It is the exhaustion of needing people and not trusting at the same time. In the same body. When someone gets genuinely close to you, something tightens. You become irritable without knowing why. You manufacture distance. You find flaws that weren't there yesterday. The relationship starts to feel like a room with no air even when nothing is actually wrong. But the thought of true solitude, of being completely alone, truly unseen, sends a different kind of cold through you. So you find the middle. You become easy to be around, but impossible to truly reach. Always present. Never fully there. Psychologists call this anxious, avoidant attachment. 2. contradictory fears occupying the same nervous system. It develops in people who learned early that the ones closest to them were also the ones most capable of causing pain. The safe place was also the dangerous place. And so your heart learned a terrible compromise. Let people close enough to matter, never close enough to destroy you. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make you better." But how do you let anyone make you better? Feels like standing at the edge of something you have already fallen from before. People come to you. They always have. You listen in a way that makes them feel like the only person in the world. You hold their weight without complaint. You offer wisdom that took you years of suffering to earn. And you give it freely, instantly, without keeping score. And when they leave, feeling lighter, you sit alone with a weight that never leaves. Because when you are struggling, you go quiet. You say you are fine, and you believe it while you are saying it. You handle it alone. You always have. Here is the dark psychology beneath this. When asking for help was once met with dismissal, with ridicule, with the subtle but unmistakable message that your needs were too much, your brain performed a silent surgery. It cross-wired need with shame. Needing something became a confession of weakness. Asking became a risk not worth taking. So you became the strong one. Not because you are stronger, because needing felt more dangerous than suffering. The painful irony? Everything you quietly give to others, the patience, the presence, the grace, is exactly what you have been starving yourself of for years. Someone corrects you, gently, even kindly, and something happens inside you that is far too large for the size of the moment. Moment. Maybe you shut down completely, a door closing behind your eyes. Maybe you over-explain until you are certain they no longer think less of you. Maybe you replay it for hours, long after the other person has forgotten it entirely. This does not mean you are oversensitive. It means you were once in an environment where love felt conditional, where you were accepted when you performed well and subtly withdrawn from when you did not, where the gap between you made a mistake and you are a mistake was never clearly defined. And so your nervous system never learned that difference either. It still cannot fully separate feedback from judgment. It still reads a small correction as a threat to the entire relationship. And the only way to feel safe again is to fix it, explain it, or disappear before they can confirm what you fear most, that you are not enough. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But no one ever told him, or you, how hard it is to react freely when every reaction has been pre-shaped by pain. Here's what I need you to hear. None of these 5 things make you broken. Every single one of them, at the exact moment they were formed, kept you alive. The apologies, the hypervigilance, the careful distance, the self-sufficiency, the hypersensitivity to judgment. These were not flaws. They were intelligent responses to an environment that demanded them. Your nervous system did not fail you. It protected you with everything it had. But survival behaviors do not come with an expiration date. They do not check whether the original threat is still there. They simply keep running, quietly, automatically, long after the wound that created them has closed. And so you move through a life that is no longer dangerous, still armored for a war that ended years ago. The work is not dramatic. It does not happen in one moment of revelation. It happens in small, almost invisible choices. The pause before the reflex apology. The decision to let one person see that you are not fine. The moment you choose to sit inside a good thing without immediately bracing for it to be taken. None of that is easy. All of it is how you begin. Marcus Aurelius, alone in his tent at the edge of the empire, wrote words he never intended anyone to read. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He was not writing for history. He was writing to survive himself. And perhaps so are you.